Welcome back to the Noble Forms video tutorial series. I'm Richard Noble, the founder of Noble Forms. In this video series, I'm showing you how to prepare all the documents necessary for an estate plan for John and Jane Jones. This video will show you how to produce the powers of attorney and the advance directives. It's a joint trust, so there are two powers of attorney produced, one for the husband, one for the wife, and also two advance directives. To start producing the documents, you would navigate to the Estate Plan app and click Review or Update. Then you would navigate down to Documents and click the arrow and you'd uncheck any documents you don't want to produce and check documents you do want to produce. So here, since you could produce the power of attorney separately and the advance directive separately, or if you click both of them, both documents will be produced. And what happens is that the interview here is going to change, and it's going to include any questions that are necessary for the power of attorney or for the advance directives. It will also include information that you've already entered. So a lot of this is pretty familiar, like client information, children, other important people, disinherited persons. But now this is new, power of attorney. And the first question is, will you use the same power of attorney agent designations for both John and Jane? Well, in this case, we're going to do that. So you go ahead and enter the information. Now this is already some of it's already here. Will an attorney serve as an agent? Well, not in this case. It could if there were an attorney who was going to act as attorney in fact, there would be some language inserted in the power of attorney concerning attorney fees. The next question is the power of attorney effective immediately or upon incapacity? It just depends what you want to do. Let's say immediately. Sometimes immediately there's a certain risk in doing that to some extent, but on the other hand, there's a benefit in that if the person actually becomes incapacitated, you don't have to go around looking for a doctor to, give you some letters to take along with the certificate, with the power of attorney to show other people. But you can do either one. And then the question, check if Jane and John's previously granted powers of attorney will not be specifically revoked. And so they are specifically revoked unless you check this. The attorneys, in fact, here in this case are already entered because we actually provided this information earlier in the client interview. Of course, you could change them. And if you decided that you wanted to have different agents acting for the husband, say the wife, you would say no, and then over on the right-hand side, you could go ahead and enter information for the wife. But we're saying it's the same. Now, the next topic, of course, is new too, advance directive. And again, this information could very well be already filled out from the client interview. And to see the agents that are picked, you just click. If you wanted to change them, you just click in here and pick another one. But we're happy with them. Then the last topic is execution, and it's the same because this is the day, November 15, 2024, that all the documents in this trust plan are going to be produced. So again, you could do finish later and come back, or if you click Create Documents, the documents are going to be produced. So let's go ahead and click Create Documents. And you can see here under Estate Plan that 4 documents are produced, 2 advance directives and 2 powers of attorney. So what you would want to do is click on each one of them and save them on your computer in the spot of your hard drive or your server where you are saving the documents for this estate plan. So let's go ahead and click them. Opens up. This is the right location. We'd already done this once before, so it asks me if I want to replace them. That's fine. You can just if there's a change, you can just keep overwriting the old one. So you say yes, and then for Jane, I'm going to click on that. That hasn't been saved, so it's going to save it. It knows the name of the file right here, so you don't have to type that in. Oh, I guess it has been once before. Then John's power of attorney and Jane's power of attorney. And then you could either go back to your file manager and double click to open the documents you'd saved, or most browsers have the ability to see the downloads that you've just recently downloaded and you just downloaded all of these documents. So you have here, we've got like John's power of attorney. We'll take a look at that for a minute. So we've got the power of attorney, and this is, you can see from the footer that this is John's power of attorney. He's appointing Jane, and this takes effect immediately. There's a general grant, and then there's specific powers that go on for quite a few pages. And the idea being is that if the person who's trying to use it, the attorney in fact, can point to a specific reference in the power of a document to a third party who they're showing it to, that it's more likely that the third party will accept them as being the attorney in fact for John here. So if it's quite a long document, there's lots of different documents that are referenced, and you go all the way to the end and you'll find a provision for the alternate. So in this case, if Jane is unwilling or unable to serve, then Robert would act, and if Robert can't act or won't act, then Sandra would act. So that's basically, it's a pretty simple, straightforward document. And but now let's go ahead and take a look at, let's close this one and go take a look at the advanced directive for John, see how that turned out. So we can go back to the downloads and we can do the advanced directive for John and bring it up on the screen. This is the statutory form, and it just has John. It's about, this is John's power of attorney. John's advanced directive. It's for John. And then it has his nomination of his healthcare representative and alternate healthcare representative. And it has all the places where he would have to come in, and this would probably, we would have him fill this out at the office when he signs all the other documents, to go through the A, the B, and the C condition, and initial the option that he would like to have initialed, and then he goes and signs it here, gets notarized, and then there's a place for his spouse, because she is the healthcare representative. She would print her name, sign her name and date. Also produced inside this template would be a HIPAA release, because some medical providers take the position that HIPAA is a federal law that preempts Oregon state law on the healthcare representative, and would deny a healthcare representative the right to see the medical charting. So this is a HIPAA release, which would be signed by John and notarized. And that's really all I have to say about the power of attorney and the advanced directive. If you have any questions about these documents, or if you have any suggestions or things you'd like to see changed, feel free to contact me, and either by phone or email. I'd really like to talk to you if you would like.